Sometimes you need to go in war against yourself because you have saw the glimpse of who you could be. The only reason why you're not the person that you always want to become is you. Because the person you are right now doesn't deserve to live the life that you always dreamed of. Now, you might get offended about it, but this is the first step that you need to accept and acknowledge that you're not good enough and you need to fix it. Then only you can get better. Now, the next thing is that you need to understand whom you are in the competition with. Now, whatever you want to become in life, millionaire, athlete, bright student, or a singer, whatever you want to become, there are millions of people chasing the same dream, chasing the same thing that you are chasing. And to be honest, you definitely do not stand any chance against them because there is always going to be someone richer, smarter, more charismatic, stronger than you, and they're going to have more cheat codes and privileges than you have. But the good news is you do not have to compete with them. And it took me half a decade to learn that I'm not competing with people on the internet with Lamborghinis. The person I'm in competition with is the man in the mirror. It's me. It's who I was yesterday. I need to get better than I was yesterday. Okay. And that's the beauty of self-improvement. Because no matter you can be the best in the world, but if you are in competition with yourself, you are going to get better than who you are right now. Think about it for a second. You can be the richest person in the world, you can be a trillionaire, but if you are in competition with yourself, you can earn $2 trillion. Like, I'm just being delusional about it, but that's a fact. That's the beauty of being in the self-improvement journey. There are no limits for yourself to get better. Anything that you might think right now is not, it's out of your reach. Maybe within your reach, or maybe your standards after 6 months. Think about it for a second. It could be your reality only if you fell in love with the journey of getting better every single day. Every single day, you got the opportunity to become better than who you are. Okay. And whenever you go to sleep, you need to ask yourself, did I get better today? If the answer is yes, you are doing great. Keep doing that. Keep carrying the momentum. But if the answer is no, we got a problem. And we got to fix it before you go to sleep. Because if you put that thing for tomorrow, then to be honest, it's never going to happen. Okay. It never happened. If I'm going to do it tomorrow, it's never going to happen. That's the reality. That's fact. And we all know it. Okay. So fix it before you go to sleep. Do something. Maybe if you have skipped the workout, do 100 push-ups before you go to sleep. At least it will be better than a missed workout. Now think about it for a second. If I say that, okay, let's do it 100 push-ups, don't you think that I am much more better than the version I would become who thinks, okay, it's okay to skip a day? I'm getting better than the mentality that I have. Because the being disciplined and being in the journey of self-improvement is the highest form of self-love that you can have. Now, as the journey goes, you might have so many expectations. The only problem happens like within like 6 months or anything like that. That you have the expectations. My progress will be going straight. Okay, and this is something that has been talked about in Atomic Habits. That there is a valley of disappointment where you think that your progress is going to look like linear, but it actually have more curved. That most of the time the progress you make isn't visible because doing 100 push-ups today isn't going to be visible or not. It's going to make your physique great. Okay, posting this video today isn't going to build your personal brand, but doing it for a long period of time is what is going to explode physique. Okay, my math sir once said, if you build a habit from the start of the academic year that you are gonna solve one or two equations every single day, by the month 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, you will get one chapter done in a day. That's part of compounding that you can have. To explain this, I have a quote that there are decades where weeks happen and there are weeks where decade happens. It might be from Julian Petrie. I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name and anything like that. But I'm genuinely inspired with this quote. That and it suggests you that you need to keep your expectations low, detach yourself from the outcome, from the progress, from the results, and you need to give your entire focus into Just put in the work. Okay, be loyal with your inputs. Be loyal into getting better. It might not be seen as a visible progress, but in reality, you're actually making progress. You're actually strengthening your roots deep underground. Okay, so focus on that. Do not get disappointed by the value of disappointment that you have high expectations, but it isn't showing up. It is working. It is working. It is working. You just need to be patient and you need to keep your head down and keep working. Okay, you need to fall in love with the journey. You need to understand that the self improvement isn't a trend or phase that, okay, for 6 months I'll improve on myself, I'll focus on myself, and then I can just live the life that I want to live. Of course, you can live the life that you want to live, but in reality, self improvement is a lifestyle that you choose to live. Okay, if you decided to take care of your health, it's a lifestyle. Until you die, you're gonna take care of your health. And unless you treat it as a habit, it's a lifestyle, you are always gonna fail because you're just competing, you're just chasing cheap dopamine instead of actually growing and getting better. A man who loves to walk gonna walk further than a man who loves the destiny. And that's the same thing with self-improvement. You need to fall in love with the journey. You need to fall in love with the concept of making yourself better. Okay, how great it is that you have the ability to become better than who you are. It's basically that you're evolving into the new and new and new version of yourself every single day, every single month, every single year. Think about it for a second. It is kind of evolution that you can have within yourself, and you can actually curate the life that you truly align with, that matches the value that you have in life. That's great. That's fantastic. Okay, so fall in love with the journey of getting better. Okay, do not skip the days. Be better. Don't try to be perfect. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to do miss a day here and there. But if you think it's okay, then it will start a problem. Okay, in theory, it's okay to miss a day because of XYZ reason. But if you normalize that, if you start to miss continuously, then it's gonna be a problem. So don't be strict on yourself. Don't try to be perfect, and be yourself. Be who you are. Do not try to compete with the standards that has been set on the internet. Get better than who you are, as I said earlier in this video. And in the long run, you'll thank yourself because of the fact that you chose to be better rather than trying to be perfect. Because if you try to be perfect, there is a ceiling to it. Okay, you cannot be perfect than that. But being better is like the sky is not limit because there are footprints on the moon. So it definitely doesn't have any limit of how much you can evolve. Okay, if you would have told Elon Musk that okay, you can make money and everything like that, but you cannot be a trillionaire because there's nobody in the history has ever become the trillionaire. You think at that moment it have made sense. Okay, at that moment nobody has thought that there could be a trillionaire because it's not physically yet, but over the period of time it happened. Okay, because the compounding effect is so great that there was an article written in the London, I guess, humans can never fly at least for 1,000 years. And after the article has been published, within 66 days, Wright brothers took their flight. Hold on a second, bro. Everything can happen. Everything can happen. Okay, what you cannot see yet might be something that is closer than you think. Okay, it's like that. Okay, I don't know, like I'm feeling so energetic to tell you about it because I'm feeling so energetic to tell you about it because it's kind of magic that you can get better and you definitely doesn't have any limit. It's all on you, brother. So be on this journey. You might hate it in the beginning, but you'll always be grateful that you started. Always grateful that it happened. And there's one more thing that I almost forgot to tell you guys is that it's you versus you, which means that one has to die because you cannot expect to live a new life by repeating the old habits. which means you need to drop the habits that you have right now and adopt the new habit that's going to make it inevitable for you to live the life that you want to become. I guess this video has been super useful for you, and I wish you to be very best on your journey of self improvement, no matter where you are right now. As long as you're getting better, you are on the right path. So, yeah, that's for today. Talk to you soon.